Hey, what's up? In this video, we're going to be covering Google's latest core update, the November 2024 update. I'm going to talk a little bit about some practical advice around core updates, what this means for your website, as well as your SEO strategy. Now, we've seen a lot of turbulence in Google recently since the last core update that we experienced at the end of August, pushing into September. And when we're in these times, it can be tempted to try to make big changes right away in order to recover or limit the impact of these updates. But before you hit the panic button, let's talk about core updates briefly, what they mean, and really what our best approach should be for our websites moving forward. So what is a core update? A core update really aims to refine the results that Google's delivering in its index. This typically is focused on rewarding high quality content around what they consider to be high quality content and how it best matches the user's intent. This latest core update is rolling out right now as we speak, and it should be done in a few weeks. Now, this is a big message that I want to get across. Don't make drastic changes based on the fluctuations you're seeing day to day. I know it can be unsettling at times when you see shifts in rankings and different keywords, but the advice that I really want to echo here comes from Google. It's stay calm and focus on quality. Now, when I say focus on quality, what I mean is keep your audience front and center. That is the most important thing for you to do. We need to think about what they need, what questions they're asking, and how can we be genuinely helpful by answering those questions. So as Google and other AI search engines become more involved in the process, the more specific you can be in answering your users' questions, the higher chance you're going to have of getting visibility and traffic. It can be unnerving when you don't really understand what's happening at a macro level within the search results. Typically, we're hyper-focused on our own ranking, and that can present some problems. As I discussed in a previous video, rank tracking is not what it used to be with all of these different features and different elements in the search results showing up. But there are some tools that you can use that are going to give you a little bit of an insight into what's happening on a day-to-day basis within the search results. So let's take a look at some of these tools that I use pretty frequently. The first tool we're going to look at is the SEMrush Sensor. Now, this tool allows you to detect volatility over the last 30 days within the search results. It's not going to give you data past that, but it's going to give you the last 30 days. And as you can see here, pretty much through the entire month of October, we were either in very high or high fluctuation. The volatility was kind of going up and down. Now, we do see right here, this is when the core update started on November 11th. And then we see this dip here, actually probably one of the lowest I've seen the volatility be in the last month, 2 months. And it's actually happening during a time of us experiencing a core update. What I actually really like about this tool, though, is it shows me some other things. It's like, how are different industries being impacted? So you can see here, like arts and entertainment, a lot of fluctuation. Business, industrial, a lot of fluctuation. But finance, not as much, right? It's kind of in that normal range, something that we would expect to see on a day-to-day basis with Google. Real estate is lower than normal. So if you use a tool like this can be really helpful, really just to understand what's happening on a day-to-day basis with the search results and understand the difference in volatility. You can also see the rise and decline of certain SERP features. So as we can see here, there's been a slight rise in featured snippets. There's been a 1.39 percentage point rise in AI overviews. It's almost showing up now in 5% of search queries. And you can also see the difference in reviews and some of these other aspects of search as well. They always give you too a little bit of a highlight of the current update that's rolling out if there is one. So this is a really good tool just to check in. You can also, if you've got an account, you can check it against your personal scores. You can also see like winners and losers from a very broad level as well. But I like just to see this to see how volatile things are going. Another great tool is Google Grump. This is by AccuRanker. And this actually allows you to go out a little bit further, right? So if we go here, we can see that Google was furious and pretty furious and grumpy since August. And so experiencing a lot of volatility, a lot of changes within the SERP results. And as we approach this core update, Google is actually more in the cautious mode. This means that they are seeing results, not as aggressive, but more aggressive than normal, right? So Google's mood might be changing. And really, if we read their graph, it looks like Google's actually kind of mellowing out a little bit, and it's not as volatile as it once was. Now, if you want to look at how these can impact your day-to-day rankings, you can leverage a tool like Ahrefs. I really love their Keyword Explorer and how we can compare it to previous times of the year or even previous years. What did the search results look like? Now, this is a really helpful tool to really understand what's happening in the shape of the SERPs as well. So if we're looking at a term, we can type it in here to Ahrefs, and they're going to give us the normal keyword metrics that we'd expect to see from an SEO tool, some of the matching ideas, all that fun stuff. I really like, too, this kind of projected traffic graph that they do here as well. By the way, this is not sponsored by Ahrefs, just a tool I enjoy using. What I really like, though, is this SERP overview, right? So I could actually compare and say, okay, what did the SERP look like back 1 month ago? And it may not have every single day, especially for queries that don't have as much traffic. But for those higher traffic queries, you can definitely see a lot more data. And what this is doing is it's showing me the difference between the search results. So one of the big changes is the people also asked moved down, and the search engine article went up. WordStream moved down, and MailChimp moved up, right? We also see a higher position here for the knowledge panel. It's in position 6 now instead of position 7. Now, if I go to some other areas like carbon, caps lock here, carbon fiber, not as much search volume as the other traffic, still a relatively hard term to rank for, so you're going to have a lot of data. Again, I'm just looking at very broad queries here, and I can go back 1 month ago. Again, I don't have the exact date, so I'll go to a couple days before. And again, still kind of similar, but you can see the featured snippet here. You can see Wikipedia. You can see this link flipping here. You're seeing the shopping actually go lower. So while this site really didn't move any positions in the blue links, it moved quite a bit because of the different SERP features being shown here. You're seeing some sites fall out here as well. So you can actually track these over time, which is really interesting, right? So I could even go and I could compare it to last year, which helps me see, okay, what are the differences year over year? Or I can go to when the last update was and see, are there major changes? So again, you can keep running this and it gives you a little bit better idea. Now, from last year, the SERPs have changed massively for this keyword, right? It's only 48% similar. So if I look at this, carbon fiber here, size direct went from the featured snippet all the way to the bottom. Innovative composites from position 4 to the featured snippet. People also asked stayed the same. Wikipedia stayed the same. The knowledge panel has moved up this year, but it's also jumped this link up here. A couple of these sites moved in. Sites that weren't even on the first page are now showing. So these are really helpful tools to help us better understand what's happening in the search results and allow us to take an educated decision, an educated guess on what to do about it. Now, in the beginning of this video, I talked about not making a lot of big changes. One thing I will say, and the way I approach these core updates differently now, because Google is shifting so fast and AI is so much a part of the search results, one thing I do recommend is don't just stop and wait these core updates out. Continue with your process. If you know you're providing value, if you know that you're delivering good content, if you know that what you're doing is helping build your brand and build that equity and that trust with your users, don't just sit on your hands and wait. Do the things that you know are working. Pay attention to the responses and the reactions that you're getting both from your audience as well as the search engines, and continue to move forward. Stick with the basics. Create content that's valuable, that's relevant, that's user-focused. And over time, this will help your site perform well no matter what update comes our way, no matter what technology is added to the process or what other search engines are being used. So slow down, take a deep breath. Yes, we're a core update, but Google's been pretty turbulent for the last couple months anyways. Stick to your plans, measure what's happening, see how it's working, use the things that you know work, continue to push forward in those, and leave the rest up to the results, right? That's really all that we can do. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, please give us a thumbs up, comment below with any of the questions you have about this core update or any of the other topics that we talked about on this channel. We're going to continue to look deeper into these search results and into these new advancements that we're seeing with AI and search, and how we can better position ourselves to serve our end users. That's the real ultimate goal of digital marketing. It's not getting rank. It's not just getting visibility, but it's growing the authority, the trust of our brand, and showing that we have experience and expertise in what we're doing and that we provide a ton of value. Remember, quality always wins in the long run. Invest in quality and you're not going to be disappointed. Even if you see your numbers fluctuate, the traffic you're going to drive is going to be much, much more meaningful than just getting a lot of really good numbers with no conversions, no ROI, no actual business. So I hope you found this helpful. Again, thanks again for watching. And until next time, happy marketing.